St. John the Baptist Catholic School and Preschool exists to provide a quality Catholic education that is focused on faith, academics, service, and personal development. This year, our fund to need is focused in 3 different areas: STEM, improvements for classroom supplies and teacher training; library, a chance to refresh and update the library; and sensory, adding a new sensory room in our school.
That teamwork, that critical thinking, that ability to fail, as an engineer often does, fails so many times to get to what they wanted to, and then finds out in the end they really didn't want what they started with in the beginning, and they're off on a whole new trail. Every future at the moment that we're working on needs and involves creative thinking. A student is often not able to learn to understand that they can fail. We've gotten to a mode of teaching where failure is okay, but the students themselves don't accept that failure. As an engineer, failure is the critical component to learning and going ahead. So that's critical for every child in every curriculum to be able to do that. The engineering cross-curriculum so often where we can blend religion easily with science, easily with social studies. All of that helps the child to learn in a better way. That interactive, that creative thinking is all there as part of the engineering and STEM components.
Christmas time, I had my kids create and design Santa's sleigh, and it was after a story that we had read about Santa and his elves, and Santa's sleigh was totally demolished, and in the story, the elves wanted to create a new sleigh for Santa. So we took on that task, and the kids did so well with it. They were really excited, and they have such good problem-solving skills. And some of the kids came up with hot air balloon sleighs, dump truck sleighs, motorcycle sleighs, hot rod sleighs, and even a unicorn sleigh.
The most fun example of STEM teaching that we've used this year in 5th grade has been when we learned the phases of the moon using Oreos. It was a great hands-on way for the kids to show me their learning about what they've identified the different phases, and they had to do that. They were graded, but with a fun activity that was hands-on, and then they got to take it home and eat it. Another fun project that we did in 5th grade is connected to reading with a novel study that we're doing on from the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler. And the kids today, we got them involved. We did a little bit of background on Michelangelo, and then we taped a picture to the underside of their desk and gave them markers and asked them to color it in their best ability to color within lines. And it was about 12 minutes that they were laying on the floor and coloring and imagining what that was like for Michelangelo for 4 years of painting the ceilings of the Sistine Chapel for 10, 12, 14 hours a day that he was doing that. And they were complaining after 5 minutes that their arms hurt. But it really just gave them, again, a different perspective, having them use their brains in a different way than that we're used to doing even outside of art in the reading classroom.
There are Sphero robots, there are Dash robots, there are these Q robots that actually go out, and the children, even youngest, as my kindergartners, 1st and 2nd graders, have to program these robots, and they'll interact with you, they'll talk back to you.
STEM supplies for the classroom, such as consumable and non-consumable supplies, construction and building type supplies, and I think it would be really neat for the primary children to have individual STEM kits.
Today's novels, today's nonfiction and research materials to our students of today. These are not our students of their parents' generation, their grandparents' generation. These students have their own likes, their own dislikes. They have their own needs that are different from 20 years ago. 20 years ago when I started the library, students' interests were different than they are today. Over here, on our shelf here, we have some brand new nonfiction books. This stack of books here, the cost is approximately $2,500. And just looking at this would not fill one shelf of books, and $2,500 is quite a large sum of money. So that is where our challenges lie, in keeping up with the needs of today's students and the cost of that challenge. Dream library would be a place where students can gather to collaborate. We would have flexible seating for the group projects that they need to work on, that they could come down to the library from their classroom when they are in need of working alone, working as a group, and a place where they come together to enhance their education.
Sensory room has a lot of things that you see here. So they're kind of fidgets. This is the pop it, which helps someone who's feeling a lot of anxiety. They can come in and just kind of, it's simple, but you can pop it, and you know, it's kind of like bubble wrap. Maybe struggling with their emotional regulation or focus issues, but it also helps the other students in the classroom, because if a student is lacking focus in the class, it has those ripple effects. You know, it takes the attention away from the other students, so the teacher has to focus on that student, and so it really could benefit all students, not just students that may need it, but it also is kind of a really great tool to learn, for everybody to learn how to be a little calmer.
Will you? 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 Will you help us reach our goal?